we are going to see a navbar which changes its shape and color when we scroll down. So at first we have this navbar which is of this height, and when we scroll down, the background color of this navbar changes to black, the logo changes, and the height of the navbar also changes. And when we scroll back again, it goes back to original. So we are going to see how this kind of effect we can achieve. So we are going to see the code. At first we have HTML file. So in this HTML file, we will directly go jump to the code itself, where we have header section and main. In main we have different sections like hero and features, but today we are not going to see all this. We are just going to focus on the header. In header we have nav, that is navbar, and inside navbar we have a logo section, like the div that contains different kind of logos that we can see on our side. These two different logos appear when we scroll down or scroll back, but how it appears and how it toggles we will see in some time. First we will just go through the HTML. So we have different menus, and this is how our navbar is in HTML. So as we can see, to this HTML we have two different files connected. One is link that connects to style.css, and another is script that connects to script.js file. So basically, apart from this index.html, we have two different files, style.css and script.js. So first of all, we will see style.css. At first, we have different variables that we have defined. Then I will skip all this code, the CSS, and I'll just jump to our header section where we have a main header class. So to do this header, we have a class that is defined as main header, and we are targeting this main header for all the CSS. The position of our navbar is fixed because it is sticking to the top side of our website, so it is fixed. Then all this background color and all this is okay, but the main part is height. The height is defined as a variable. So as we can see, the primary height, that is 100 px, that is defined in our variable, is this, and when we scroll it, our navbar changes its shape to small, so that height is also defined in variable. At first we are just targeting main header class. Okay, so the main header class is actually targeted and the height is set to 100 px through this variable. But when we scroll, basically our navbar have a scroll class as well. We are assuming that our navbar will get a scroll class as well, and we are targeting that class. How that scrolled class is coming, that is another part that we will see later on. But at first we are saying that we are targeting scroll class along with this main header. The scroll class is not here right now, as you can see here. Only we have one class. So that scroll class will come on later. The scroll class is targeting height, that is small, that is also defined in variable as 70 px. So at first we have 100 px height for our navbar, and when we scroll it, it will transition to 70 px. As we can see here, the transition is quite smooth. It doesn't appear arbitrarily. It is very smooth. So how that smooth effect is smooth transition is happening, that we can see here. To our main primary class, what we are doing is we are applying transition properties, and that is applied to all the CSS part. And these are the properties that are making the transition smooth. We can only target height property as well, but we are currently targeting all the properties. So any of the properties changing, it will transition smoothly. So the box shadow is there for scrolled version. As at the beginning we don't have any box shadow, but when we scroll down we have a box shadow here. So that is also applied through that scroll class. And other things are okay. All these things are part of the CSS or the design part, but we are not seeing this today. But again, we need to see one more thing, that as we are targeting that scroll class, we can see here when we scroll down, we can see that our nav along with our navbar design, you can see our logo also changes. So how this logo is changing, that we can see here. As our main header doesn't have scroll class yet, so we are just targeting site logo, and our site logo small. We have in our HTML, we have two different span here with two different classes. One is your brand text, which have logo text large class, and another one is logo text small. So at one time only one of these is visible, so another one is invisible at that time. So as we can see, the small doesn't appear at initially just your brand is there, so the large one is there, the small one doesn't appear. So as we can see, the small one has display none by default. Okay, so that display none needs to change when we scroll it. So as we can see that when we are targeting that scrolled class via main header, we are targeting the site logo, and the large one disappears with display none property, and the small one comes with display block property. So basically, if our main header will get scrolled class, its logo text large span will disappear and logo text small span will appear. When scrolled class will be removed, this will go back to large will be block display block and the small will be display none. So that's how this effect is achieved. So when we scroll down, our this text is coming or this logo is coming. When we scroll down, we can see YB is coming. That is small one. Okay. So this is how it is. So all these things are happening using the scroll class. So our primary goal is our main header should get scrolled class when we scroll down, and the scroll class should disappear when we scroll up. So how we can achieve that? So as we can see, our HTML file along with the CSS file is connected. It is connecting to the script.js file as well. So into script file and script.js, and we can see here we have a small snippet, JavaScript snippet, where we are targeting scroll event via our window object. So we are attaching an event listener to our scroll event, and so whenever our window will be scrolled, this event will be triggered. So inside this event, whenever this event will trigger itself, we are targeting our main header via ID. So as we can see here, our main header have ID as well along with the class. Both class name and ID are same main header. So we are targeting that ID and we are getting that element using a document.getElement by ID. So when we get this header element, what we are doing is we are checking that whenever we are scrolling our window, that window object have a property attached to it, scroll Y, as we are scrolling in upward and downward direction like this. So we are targeting the property scroll Y. So if scroll Y value is greater than 50, as we can see here, if the window.scroll Y value is greater than 50, what we are doing is we are adding a new class to our header, that is scrolled. As we just have one class main header, so we are adding new class that is scrolled. And if value is less than 50 if value is less than 50, we are removing the class that is scroll. So we can see here it must the scroll Y property on window must be 0 because we have not scrolled yet. So whenever we scroll it, if value goes beyond 50, our class changes for our main header, that is dot scrolled. And whenever we scroll back down, the JavaScript removes scrolled class, and our navbar is back to normal. So all the CSS properties that we have attached via scrolled class, that those properties appear because we are adding and removing. We are adding scroll class, and those properties disappear because we are removing scroll class using JavaScript. So our JavaScript role is just to add and remove scroll class. All the CSS happening in this file, and all the effects are achieved using scroll class itself. So as you can see, all the scrolled class is attached to the logo and the navbar also. So as we can see, the entire effect is very easy and very small code, not much big code, but the effect, the visual effect is quite impressive. So this is how we achieve our goal, and I hope you enjoyed and liked it today.